I'm assuming the new Cat with Blue Hat video does not discuss leaks. Is that right, chat? No? Okay, let's take a look at this then. New Natlan and future Sumeru Liyue locations, which is very interesting. I'm curious to see if they have the same thought as I do, because I think it's going to be in between like Mondstadt and Sumeru Upper, above Liyue. We'll see. The World Quest Recollections of a Fontainian reveals some new information about 3 regions. Augustus mentions that he left Fontaine from Lumineuse Harbor and arrived in Chenyu Vale. After that, he passed through Qingce Village and traveled to Liyue Harbor. Okay. Based on this information, his route is something like this. Ooh, yeah, so above the desert. Yeah. You see, chat, above the desert and in between the desert area and Mondstadt is where it like begin, because we know that also the Tea Village also should lead to Fontaine as well, I think. So that makes a lot of sense. We know that the Tea Village in Liyue as well, not Qingce Village, a new Tea Village in Liyue, should lead to Fontaine based off of what Lieben said to us the second time he came around, I think it was. So we'll see. We'll see, but that should be the case. This also confirms that Chenyu Vale, yep, is the northwest part of Liyue. Yes, it should. Yeah, the Xiaoying village, that's it. And since he traveled from a harbor, we could assume that there is water in between. Yeah, I think so too. I think there definitely will be. I'm excited to find out, though. We could also speculate the previously mentioned Yilong Port exists in Chenyu Vale. Yeah, I think that's safe to assume. We also know that the people of Liyue usually pass through Xiaoying village when going to Fontaine. Yes, Lieben told us. Yeah, I'm sure he'll bring up Lieben. So the map could instead be like this. I think it's more likely to be like that. I do. I think it's more likely to be like that, to be honest. Personally. But he also says that he could have disembarked at Baida Harbor in Sumeru, which would make the map look something like this. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe the Baida Harbor wouldn't go all the way over, though. I don't. Maybe. I don't know. It's a tough one. He later mentions that he could have taken the path of the pilgrims to head southward into the desert from Fontaine. Pilgrims here refers to the Oceanids, or Lokfolk, that journeyed to Sumeru 500 years ago in search of their Archon. Interesting. Their destination was Amrita Pool, which are the remains of the previous Hydro Archon. There's going to be so many people uberly confused about this that don't follow the lore, but yes, during the latest Sumeru World Quest with the... What were they called, chat? The race of the newer Sumeru characters? The Pari, yes, the Pari World Quest. We find out that the previous Hydro Archon practically sacrificed herself and the remains were left in this pool, and it was a big part of the quest, to be honest. Big part of the quest. Very sad. The route they took would be something like this. Yes. Yeah, straight down. Augustus further mentions of another harbor named Romaritime Harbor to make this journey. Another one. It seems like there's also an ocean between Fontaine and Sumeru. Yeah, I think that makes sense, and I think it'd also make sense for Fontaine to have multiple harbors as well, right? Because Fontaine is the land of water, basically. That land of water sounds kind of counterproductive, but you know what I mean. I think it'd have 2 or maybe even more harbors, to be honest. And I do feel like it's maybe not going to be landlocked, but I do feel like it's going to be totally separate from everywhere south of it, everywhere that we've already discovered. Maybe it'll go further. Maybe it will be totally landlocked. That'd be kind of cool, honestly. Kind of like Inazuma, where it's just another island, but huge. Interesting. We'll see. We'll see. He later says that you can cross the desert to go back to Fontaine. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's not. So you can get to Fontaine from the desert without going over the ocean. So it's not landlocked. It is linked to Fontaine then. Interesting. That's what it sounded like anyway. But then he also thinks of going to Natlan instead on the other side of the desert. So Natlan's to the left? Oh, dude. I am so excited for Natlan. That is the one place in this game that I have been waiting for since I saw that fucking Travail interlude trailer. Dude, Natlan is going to be like a dream come true for me, I feel like. I'm going to assume there's going to be like a dragon spine there that's like a volcano as well, and it's going to be hot. But also, I just want to learn about the Pyro Archon and the, what's her name? Murata. Like, I need to see if she's going to be a Himeko XP, dude. I need to. And Capitano as well. I assume we're going to get Capitano in Natlan. I'm so excited. Only a year to wait. It goes quick. It goes very quick. In conclusion, this is probably where many of these future areas will be located. Yeah, I think that's cool. Zooming out, the 6 regions will probably look like this in future. I think that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. The top side of the map is still incomplete, so it is possible for Liyue and Mondstadt to extend further into the north. Oh, dude, definitely. I don't know about Liyue, but Mondstadt, 100%. We're missing quite a bit of Mondstadt. The Dorman Port, for example, I assume that's going to be to get to, like Snezhnaya or something in the north. I'm gonna very much assume that we're gonna get Dorman Port now, since we haven't got it already, which I really thought we would have. I'm gonna very much assume that when we get to that port, the Dorman Port's gonna unlock, just like I assume the Yilong Port is gonna unlock for Liyue to get to Fontaine. I think we'll get the Mondstadt Dorman Port when we're going to a region that's further up as well. Dandelion Sea, yeah, but I reckon it'll be for a full region, not just the Dandelion Sea, but we'll see. While there is also a chance for Natlan to be even farther to the left than this, I would assume Natlan probably would be further to the left as well. Yeah, looking at this, dude, Inazuma is very small. Even though there's multiple islands, like, the coverage of land is still very small compared to the other places. Sumeru is just massive. Very curious to see how big Fontaine's going to end up being. Augustus also describes the damage caused by Edwin Eastinghouse's experiment. Oh, yeah! Previously, it was thought that his experiment may have destroyed a floor of Fontaine Research Institute. The big explosion, right? But apparently it destroyed a couple of buildings around it. Needless to say, it was a major incident. Yeah, it's pretty big. He also mentions that 2 people, Raimondo and Chosul, are in charge of rebuilding the destroyed buildings. However, this reconstruction has demotivated him and his fellow researchers. He also mentions that Fontaine has aqua buses. Wait, that's the name? Aqua buses? It's a boat. Kidding. Aqua bus is a cool name. Kind of like that. Yeah, water taxi. He calls the elevated paths which the aqua buses use as aqua rails. According to him, well, buses don't go on rails though. It should be an aqua train then. According to him, aqua buses are the only vehicle that can use aqua rails. They call it an aqua train. The vehicles also have dedicated Melusine guides on them to provide commentary of the scenery. So yeah, on the right side, you can see the ocean. Yeah, it's beautiful. On the left, you could also see some water. And at night, it looks very dark, while at day, like now, it's a very blue ocean. And yeah, and if you look in front and behind, you can actually see what we're traveling on, which is, yeah, also water. Lafinte from Valorium Mirage also reveals some info about Fontaine. Wait, he did? He says that we can encounter some strange law enforcement officers in I missed this. He describes them as thin as cats, fast as the wind, and to have a smell like sea and algae. The Melusine. Perhaps these officers can patrol underwater too? Oh, if they smell like sea and algae, dude, or algae, they, then the person that's watching us that ends up blinking probably was the Melusine. Fontaine's navy also seems to have changed a bit in the past. Chained? Or changed. Chatillon used to be a cannon engineer in the navy, but after their accident... He says that Fontaine has no intention to ever form a fleet like his again. Huh? Seems like Fontaine's navy used to have cannons on their ships in the past. But their current fleet no longer use such weapons. Maybe they stopped using weapons altogether, or perhaps invented something even more dangerous. That's kind of scary to think about. I absolutely love how it goes to show Klee when it's talking about using something even more dangerous, dude. Yeah, Klee do be fucking terrifying. I ain't gonna cap. She do be kind of scary.